Hello guys, good morning. You are welcome to my YouTube channel, the Explicit Tutorials. As you all know, my name is Tutor Joseph. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing with us Spermatogenesis in AB 122. I'm just doing revision on this topic, okay? I've treated the topic already, but now that the exam is fast approaching, which is on the 15th of this month, I want to review likely exam questions. I'm going to be doing that orally, but if time permits, I'll put the options on the board. I'm not here to treat this topic revision. I'm just trying to bombard you guys with questions. Which of the now Gametogenesis, you know what it is? The production of what? The male and female gamete through spermatogenesis and oogenesis, what respectively. You know, if the sex cell of the male organism is called sperm, while that of the female organism is called what? Egg or ovum. Please, the egg is not on the cell 1.8 naira. This one is not eatable. It's found on the inside of what? The female organism. Now, we are going to be discussing first and first spermato. Oh, this markers, they've started again. Spermatogenesis. Now, the production of sperm is called what? Spermatogenesis. The primordial germ cell during spermatogenesis undergoes which of these? The primordial germ cell during spermatogenesis undergoes which of these? A. Mitosis. B. Meiosis. C. Gametogenesis. D. None of the above. None. Now, D is none of the above. Please, the primordial germ cell undergoes what? A mitotic what? Division. Now, as soon as it undergoes mitosis, it forms a spermatogonia. Now, spermatogonia undergoes which of these? That is spermatogonia. Spermatogonia. Spermatogonia undergoes which of these? Mitosis, meiosis, gametogenesis. No, the answer is what? None of the above. Spermatogonia only increase in size to produce what? A primary spermatocyte. Which of these is called sperm mother cell? Which of these is called sperm mother cell? Which of these is called sperm mother cell? A. Spermatogonia. B. Primary spermatocytes. C. Secondary spermatocytes. D. Spermatids. Oh God, what kind of markers are these? Spermatids. Please, the sperm mother cell is otherwise called what? The primary spermatocyte. The primary what? Spermatocyte. Now, please, primary spermatocyte undergoes which of these? It undergoes what? Meiosis. It undergoes two meiotic division. The first one produces what? A secondary spermatocyte, and the second one produces what? 4 spermatids. It is from the spermatids that spermatogonia, that is spermatozoa, is what? Formed. Please, the first one, spermatogonia will now increase in size to produce what? Primary spermatocyte. This one that go meiotic division to produce what? Secondary spermatocytes and what? Spermatid. Okay, so this is the order. Spermatogonia to primary spermatocyte to secondary and to this. This is the order. They may bring it. Now, which of these is correct? This is the sequence. This is the sequence. Take note of that. So that is for that. Now, the primordial germ cell developed from the germinal epithelium cell. I told us before. Germinal epithelium cell. All right. The primordial germ cell develops from the germinal epithelium cell. Take note of that. So that is for that. Now, let me say something here. During spermatogenesis, when the primordial germ cell undergoes mitosis, it produces what? Spermatogonia. Now, each spermatogonium will now increase in size to produce what? A primary spermatocyte. Which means that all the spermatogonia are what? Active, they are functional, all of them. They are what? Needed, they are important. But during oogenesis, when the primordial germ cell undergoes a mitotic division to produce an oogonia. Now, it is not all oogonia that develops into a primary oocyte. No, it is only one. All of these oogonia form, only one will increase in size to produce what? Primary oocyte. Primary oocytes is what is formed from what? Oogonia. Please, it is not all of them that are functional. Please, only one. Unlike this, all of them each will develop, but this only one will increase in size to produce what? A primary oocyte. Please take note of that. This primary oocyte will now undergo meiotic division to produce what? Secondary oocytes and a polar body. Then the second division will now produce another what? Polar body. So please, which means that the secondary oocyte is known as what? The functional egg. Please take the secondary oocyte is known as what? The functional egg. Take note of that. Now that is for that. We are still discussing the sperm and just a kind of relating spermatogenesis to what? Oogenesis. Now, spermatozoa, that is the sperm. The nucleus found in the head of the sperm is dash. A. Haploid. B. Diploid. C. Triploid. D. Polyploid. Please, you know the sperm is divided into head, neck, and tail. Alright? It is divided into head, neck, and what? Tail. Please, the nucleus found in the head of the sperm is what? Haploid. It is what? Haploid. And the acrosome, the head, sorry, excuse me. The head also possesses what? The acrosome. The acrosome is found in the head, and this acrosome possesses what? An enzyme. Alright, the enzyme is called what? Hydrolytic enzyme. To be specific, the acrosome has lysosome. It is lysosome that contains this enzyme called what? Hydrolytic what? Enzyme. Take note of that, please. Now, the first mid piece of the sperm contains which of these? A. Centrioles. B. Centrosome. C. Whatever, please. It is the first mid piece that contains what? The centrioles for what? Division. Please, the latching movement of the tail is the energy that the tail possesses for its latching movement is produced by the mitochondria. Anything energy is always portrayed toward the mitochondria. Okay, the latching movement of the tail is provided by the energy produced by the mitochondria. Okay, that is for that. Now, there are two hormones that control spermatogenesis. Two hormones. Now we have, okay, let me just hypothalamus and anterior pituitary gland. The hypothalamus will produce what? Gonadotrophins releasing what? Hormone. Now, this hormone now travel to the anterior pituitary gland to produce two hormones, which are the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. Please, the target of the follicle stimulating hormone is A. Gonad. B. Sperm. D. What should I put now? Let me put scrotum. Then E, anterior pituitary what? Gland. Anterior pituitary gland. Please, as soon as the follicle stimulating hormone is produced, its target is what? The gonad. As soon as it gets to the gonad, it further stimulates the complete development of what? The sperm, which is what? The spermatozoa. Please, the target of the follicle stimulating hormone is what? The gonad. As soon as it gets there, it stimulates the complete formation of what? The sperm. So that is for that. And which of these is a steroid hormone? Which of these is a steroid hormone? A, testis. Okay, hormone rather. Let me use testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, D, corpus luteum. Please, testosterone is what? A steroid hormone, and it is a male sex hormone, while estrogen and progesterone are the female sex hormones. So corpus luteum is that yellowish body that the growth follicle develops into. We'll get there. Okay. The target of the follicle stimulating hormone is the gonad. Which of these is released at a surge? Which of these is released at a surge? Please, the estrogen and luteinizing hormone is released at a what? At a surge. Okay. Now that is for that. The luteinizing hormone, okay. Please, which of these provide nourishment for the sperm? Which of these nourishes what? The sperm. Please, the satellite cell. The satellite cell nourishes what? The sperm. It provides nutrients for the what? Sperm. Take note of that. I'm just restricting it to spermatogenesis. Okay, that is for that. Okay, let's take oogenesis. Oogenesis. The targets. Okay, now I told us that oogonia is formed through mitosis. Each oogonium is surrounded by a follicle cell. This follicle cell is called what? The granulosa cell. Now the combination of the follicle cell and the granulosa cell produce what? The primordial follicle. This primordial follicle will not develop into what? The Graafian what? Follicle. Take note of that. This Graafian follicle will not develop into what? Corpus luteum. This is the order. Follicle, granulosa, primordial, Graafian, and what? Corpus. Look, this is how it is. This primordial follicle will not travel to the ovary. Or okay, the granulosa cell of the primordial follicle will produce what? Estrogen. The estrogen has two targets. The targets are one, the uterus, and what? The anterior pituitary hormone. The target of the estrogen are the uterus and what? Anterior pituitary hormone. Now, in the uterus, it maintains, repairs, and develops what? The lining of the uterus called what? Endometrium. Which means that the lining of the uterus is called what? Endometrium. Okay. Now, that is what it does in the endometrium. Then, in the anterior pituitary hormone, it prevents or it inhibits the production of what? The follicle stimulating hormone. It inhibits the follicle stimulating hormone. In the anterior pituitary gland, which of these is a function of the estrogen? Please, it inhibits the production of what? Follicle stimulating what? Hormone. Take note of that. Now, there's a point it will get to, the estrogen will now level up. As when it levels up, there's production of what? Luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone. I told us that luteinizing hormone and estrogen are produced at a surge. Take note of that. The targets of the luteinizing hormone is the ovary, please. The target of this luteinizing hormone is what? The ovary, where it causes what? Ovulation. The target of luteinizing hormone is the ovary. The target of the estrogen are the uterus and the anterior pituitary gland. Okay. I think that is for that. I said it causes what? Ovulation. Then after ovulation, the Graafian follicle will now develop into a yellowish body called what? Corpus luteum. This corpus luteum keeps secreting estrogen and what? Progesterone. Okay. Now, please, at birth, take note of this. At birth, there are about 200,000 to 400,000 follicles. At birth, there are about 200,000 to 400,000 what? Follicles, but all of these, only 200 to 400 are what? Fertilized. Then others will degenerate into a cyst-like body called what? Atretic follicle. Now, this atretic follicle is the visible part of the ovary that is not capable of producing what? Egg. Now, I said all of these 200 to 400,000 follicles produce, only 200 to 400 will reach what? Development. Others will develop, others will degenerate, sorry, to produce what? A cyst-like body called what? Atretic follicle. Now, this atretic follicle is cyst-like and is found in the ovary. It does not produce what? Egg. Please take note of this. Atretic follicle. Good. If fertilization does not occur, what happens? The corpus luteum will degenerate. This corpus luteum that was produced from the Graafian follicle would what? Degenerate. That is for that. And again, there's a estrogen. The production of estrogen and progesterone will reduce. I know I told us that the corpus luteum produces the estrogen and the progesterone. Since it has declined, since it has degenerated, there will be a decline in the level of production of what? Estrogen and what? Progesterone. Then follicle stimulating hormone will no longer be what? Inhibited. Therefore, the endometrium, since this estrogen estrogen is to develop the endometrium that is lining up the uterus called what? Endometrium. Since it has been altered, okay, now this endometrium will break. As soon as it breaks, there's what? Menstruation. Okay, take note of that. So this is the mechanism behind menstrual cycle in females. I believe I've stated everything that we need. Okay, the egg. Okay, I've discussed the sperm. The egg is made up of two major divisions, which are the cortical granules and the yolk droplets. These are the two divisions of the egg. Now, the egg has an outer membrane called what? Plasma membrane. No. Outer membrane called what? Vitelline what? Membrane. The inner membrane is called what? Plasma membrane. Please, below this vitelline membrane is a jelly coat of variable what? Thickness. Jelly coat of what? Variable thickness, and it is made up of what? Glycoproteins. Take note of that. The jelly coat is made up of what? Glycoprotein. Okay, please take note of that. Okay. I believe I've released all the mysteries here, all that you need to know. Please, satellite cell, atretic follicle, whatever. So at this point, we call it a day. Please, if you know you have learned something, endeavor to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Do have a wonderful day. Please subscribe.